Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Broken Boys. It's episode 304 or two. Well, 204. I'm Mike,
I'm Colin.
and yeah, today, gonna talk about news, world news, things that happened throughout the week. I don't know. We'll see
Yeah.
where the wind blows us. Um, but before we get there, how was your week, Colin?
Other than the existential dread, it was okay.
Mm-hmm.
Just going through the week normally, working, playing games, hanging out. You know, nothing too extraordinary, but um, I talked to my general manager about getting into management and gonna start that training soon because I gotta train to be a crew trainer first, and
Mm-hmm.
then I can start my management training. So first crew trainer meeting is next Wednesday.
Nice.
So see how that goes. Um, don't know any of the details yet or about how much payment or anything like that, but still, I'm cautiously optimistic about it.
There you go.
So, see how it goes. Um, um, played. Played Fortnite this week. Godzilla came out last week, and
Mm.
just been hanging out and playing some battle royale. Still haven't gotten to be Godzilla, but it's okay.
Mm.
Um, we we me Max and uh, my coworkers played played around, and then there were five of us, so we decided to play some like custom games. So we did Walmart prop hunt for a little while.
Okay.
That was fun. A
They
lot of
had
good ones.
that was in Fortnite, you said?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Um, a lot of good laughs from that. It was fun. And then we started playing Squid Game,
Mm.
Fortnite Squid Game,
Of course.
and which was it was fun. But one of my coworkers' friends just decided to join the party. Um, without usually when people join the party, it'll be like a couple seconds and then they'll leave.
Yeah.
He's decided to stick around, and boy, was that an interesting character. Um, he starts talking, and I'm like, he's an interesting voice. Okay, I'm not gonna judge him for it or anything, but
Hmm.
it sounded uncannily like Eric Cartman.
Oh.
Yeah, and I was
Yeah.
like, man, that's an unfortunate voice to have. Um, and he just kept talking, saying weird shit, kind of talking under his breath. I was like, why is he here? And like he wasn't like even really talking to any of us. He was just kind of talking at us and to himself.
Mm.
Um, and I was like, what's going on, man?
Like even the
And
person he was friends with wasn't talking with
yeah,
him? Okay.
yeah. And he was just, he was just talking, trying to be funny. He would die in a game, and then he would get really up in the mic, and be like, "I'm gonna find your house and give you $500."
Mm.
And like, if you want to stick to a bit, that's fine. But nobody's laughing.
Yeah.
Nobody laughed even one time.
It's
So it's just like,
it's the
but
cue. It's the cue to not do the bit.
yeah, yeah. But he just kept talking, and we started playing Squid Game prop hunt a little while after playing regular
Wow.
Squid Game, and
Best of both worlds.
mhm. Because my coworker Garrison, while we were playing Squid Game, he was like, "I want to play more prop hunt," and so so, so we went back to prop hunt. It was Squid Game themed,
Wow.
but me and Garrison's friend were in the same room at one point, and I got found and killed So I knew where his friend was, so I went and I killed his friend. And he's like, "Yeah, you're a fucking cheater, man. You're a cheater. You're a fucking cheater."
Mm,
And I don't know if he was like legitimately upset or just trying to be funny, but still annoying.
yeah.
And then I was at work with my coworker Ricky, and I was like, "So just between me and you, that guy was really fucking annoying." And Ricky was like, "Yeah, yeah."
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, private the party next time, maybe." I was like,
Yeah.
I didn't know that was an option. So, I'll do that.
There you go.
Um, but, you know, uh, and I was like, is that his real voice? And Ricky was like, no, no, that's not his real voice. He's just doing a bit. He's sticking to the
Oh,
bit.
okay.
I was like,
Wow.
a
How
really bad bit.
how long was he playing with you guys?
At least an hour.
Oh, that's a long bit.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
Yeah.
so it just went on way too long. It wasn't funny, and like I was very close to kicking him, but I didn't want Garrison to get upset.
Yeah.
And I told Ricky that, and he was like, "I don't know how upset he would have been, to be honest." And I was like, "Well, I wish I knew that."
Yeah.
Um, but it was fine.
It's weird because I mean I don't know I still remember in my limited days of Fortnite which I'm still in but
Mhm.
there was one time when I accidentally joined you and Max instead of my neighbors and
Uh,
I still feel mortified by doing that. I don't think I could ever imagine just joining someone like on a whim, be like, hey, let's play games together. Like I would send a
right.
message first, like, do you want to? I would never just insert myself into, you know.
Especially when you only know one of them well, and he might have
Right.
known Ricky, but like not to the same extent as Garrison. And he didn't know me, Max, or Ricky's girlfriend.
Yeah.
So just joining a group of five people playing already, and then
Right.
Ashley stopped playing, partly due to the annoyance, and then uh, Max and I were like, we were getting really annoyed, but we stuck around just because the prop hunt and the Squid Games were still funish,
Yeah.
minus the bit.
Hmm.
Um, so
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I might block that guy. Might block that guy.
That's
But
also a
that was
choice. Yeah.
that was fun. Um, but started the week off on Sunday with Secret Santa with
Hmm.
everybody, and that was a good time. Um, I got John. John got me. I got John a book and a cutting board, and he got me uh, the Silk Sonic record,
Hmm.
and a T-shirt, a Rhett and Link T-shirt, which was very cool.
Yes.
Um, but it was fun. We played Jeopardy, made by Mike,
Hmm.
and
Custom Jeopardy.
some more Secret Hitler. More on Hitler later.
Hmm.
Um,
Stay tuned.
and yeah, it was fun. It was a good time. It was fun hanging out with everybody. A lot of good laughs that day.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I didn't listen to anything or watch any movies. Me and Max started rewatching Euphoria because she was watching it on her own. And I was like, oh, I haven't watched that in a while. So he
Hmm.
started that up, and it was good. But then we've been in talks to finally watch the fourth season of The Boys because
Wow.
yeah, we watched because we watched the first three seasons in a row over the summer, I think, and just fell off after season three, and we just haven't started season four yet. But
Mm.
uh, with all the stuff that's happened this week, I was like, I'm really interested to see what they do with the last season of that show.
Yeah, I was looking into that. Apparently, it's set for 2026,
Yeah,
which is slightly unfortunate, but I guess I get it.
yeah. But we're gonna start watching that. I wanted to listen to something. I had plans to listen to like a Tool album this week.
Oh,
Um,
any specific one you were looking at, or just in general?
just one of them. What I think the one like the more iconic album cover with like the
Yeah,
muscle
Lateralis, I
person.
believe that one is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but because I was watching I don't know if you've seen them, but there's these videos on this YouTube channel called Drumeo where they have like
Oh
a
yeah, yeah,
yeah, they have like the drummer listen to a song for the first time and then create their own drum set to the song.
yeah.
And there was one with a Tool song, and I thought that was cool. And I've heard a couple Tool tracks and everything, but I've never actually just sat down and listened to one.
Do you remember what kind of drummer they had do that? Because they usually are like gospel drummer does this or something like that. Did it say?
I don't know what he was just like this older black dude. So
Okay.
like
Yeah, because
uh
I only said that just because Tool gets pretty intense with the
yeah,
rhythms and stuff. Like that'd be insane to create a
well,
new
yeah,
drum track too.
because I think he was like, yeah, man, I this is not my kind of stuff now, but when I was younger, I would have ate this shit up.
Wow. Yeah.
Um, but um, but he still did great, and that made me want to listen to a
Yeah.
Tool album. Yeah, but I didn't get around to it.
I've listened to Lateralis. I actually listened to it a few times, like a couple, like maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. But I think I would appreciate it more nowadays, honestly, than I did back then. So it's one I should return to as well.
Yeah, yeah. They could probably go on the wheel. It might be
Oh yeah, yeah, that'd be a good one actually.
yeah, not a lot of albums, but they're all over an hour from what I saw. So
Yeah.
um, but yeah, didn't listen to anything or watch any movies, but pretty low key work week. Nothing too exciting other than Secret Santa. But
Hmm.
how was your week, Mike?
Week was fine. Also, not really too much exciting. But there was excitement on Sunday.
Mhm.
Getting to do some Secret Santa stuff. My car was
Yeah.
dying a few times. I thought I was gonna have to jump start it before leaving my house, and then as I told you guys, the definition of insanity worked for me because
Yeah.
I kept doing the same thing over and over again of just putting the key in and turning it like maybe this time it'll work, and then on like the I don't know fifth time or so it did work, and I was like, all right, well, I guess insanity's good sometimes, and but drove over there. And yeah, like you said, we did Jeopardy, and I created a little custom Jeopardy for us. And it did a weird thing where a lot of it didn't save, which is the first time that's happened on that program. And I think I know why it happened. If you remember, I mean, I'm sure you remember, but like when we were starting the game, like I had already tested some of it out, and like the game
Oh
had
yeah,
already
yeah.
started, and then we pressed restart game, and I think I'm not exactly sure what the fix would have been, but I think like me restarting that game didn't have the saved stuff because I went back home and I checked the board again, and like all the stuff that wasn't there appeared when we were at home. I
Yeah.
guess for context for viewers, there was like one category missing and one of the things, and then there was an entire category missing as well. And then the final Jeopardy wasn't there either, and like even though I'd
Mhm.
finished all that stuff, it was a little frustrating to me. But that was fun though. It was kind of a game between you and Vince a little bit,
Yeah.
but I think you guys were just the best buzzers in in some
Yeah.
ways. Yeah.
Just
Um,
just more versed in useless knowledge.
yeah, I guess so. I thought Vince was gonna struggle with some of the stuff.
Me
Well,
too.
because part of it is I didn't want to do too much of a pop culture basis because I know that would be heavily weighted towards you.
Yeah. True.
Like John would be able to get maybe some stuff, and then Vince, I don't have confidence in his pop culture knowledge. um,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, it was fun though. I enjoy making Jeopardy boards like that.
Mhm.
But yeah, we did our gift exchange. John and I, or not John and I, Vince and I got each other. Vince got me Godspeed You Black Emperor vinyl, the Lift Your Skinny Fists, which was a surprising pick, a welcome pick for sure. I love that album. I listened to it again this week. But I was just like, whoa, I didn't put this on any list, and I don't think I've ever talked to you about this album before, but this is a great pick. Um, but yeah, that's a nice looking vinyl. It's very nice packaging and everything. And then he also got me like a little beard kit thing. Because on the list that I gave you guys, I was like, beard products? I don't know. I'm trying to take better care of it. and
Uh-huh.
he found a nice kit that had like a whole bunch of just stuff in it. So that's cool. I've been using some of that, and I don't know. We'll see if it does anything over time, I guess.
Mhm.
But yeah, and then for Vince, I got him Secret Hitler, because well, I got him a second one. We weren't playing it. We were playing the official version the last time we were there, of
Yeah.
course. But Vince wanted the second one for some reason, so I got him that. And I
20
also,
player Secret Hitler.
what was that?
20-player Secret Hitler.
Oh, of course, yeah, yeah. Have two games going at once, you know. Um, and yeah, and then I also got Vince. I proposed to Vince as well.
Yeah.
With
Okay.
yeah, with a very expensive ring and box that I got alongside the Secret Hitler game. And, uh, yeah, I got him one knee, looked him in the eye, called him his full name, and told him to go fuck himself. It was it was a little gag gift where you open up this cheap 3D printed box and a middle finger just like pops out. I thought it would just be a funny bit. Um, and yeah, I got him some dark chocolate with that too because I know he's a fan of that.
Yeah.
Um,
He was
I,
super into that box.
the proposal box.
Yeah, he was just looking it over. He's like, I'm a 3D printer nerd,
Oh
so
yeah, yeah, he was looking at all
yeah.
the little details. But yeah, no, that was fun though. And then yeah, we played a few games that night. We played a dice game that Vince and Katie got for Christmas called Tensies,
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
you get 10 dice of assorted color, and basically you have to roll all of those dice and try to get all ones, right? Not like in one roll, but like if you, let's say you do one roll and you get like two ones, you keep those there and then you roll the rest of the dice and you try to get ones. And whoever gets that one first, like all ones, shouts out onesies or tensies or whatever. We kind
Mhm.
of just shouted out something it turned into. And then the other players have to reset, and then you move on to two, and then three, four, five, six, and whoever finishes six wins. And it got very intense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was rough for
yeah,
me.
yeah. It definitely was. There's a lot of playing strategy in there, like and how you roll the dice, and also a lot of it is how quickly you can see the numbers too. I was having trouble
Yeah.
with that as well.
Yeah.
Um, it's yeah, very very intensive for sure. But
John was into it sexually though.
that's
A lot
true,
of them.
John. Yeah, I'm hoping they like use peroxide on those dice afterwards on those cream colored dye that he had. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then, like you said, we did Secret Hitler for a bit, which was fun. I think it was a little bit better with six people, but it still worked well with
Yeah.
five. I wasn't able to do anything too sneaky this time because I fucked up both my rounds a little bit.
Yeah.
But
That was funny though.
it was
That last round was really funny with
yeah.
Katie getting crazy.
Yeah, I tried to shift some blame onto her, and she pulled out something that I don't think any actor could do. And so I that's the risk when you genuinely shock someone like that. Is you gotta play into no, they're an actor, they can act. And then the first time around, I'll just say this briefly. The first time I was Hitler, because how the game works is there's Hitler and a fascist, and they're trying to hide from the other players, right? And at the beginning of the round, everyone has their eyes closed. You make eye contact
Oh yeah.
with them, and it was Katie and I. But for some reason, we were talking about I think we were talking about when John and I were partnered up or something. At first, we like had like a little bit of a break before like actually starting the game, like just a tiny bit.
Yeah.
And like just mentally, I forgot who my partner was, and I thought it was John for some reason. So literally round one, I was trying to maybe get some blame onto him and hoping he would play along with it, and he was like, it just turned into a shit show real quickly. John was like, no, 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 Riley, you can't do that. I was very confused, and like halfway through the two of us arguing, I was like, "Oh, Katie's my partner," and yeah, that was a big brain misstep on my part.
Really funny.
It was. And then we finished out the night with some Taco Cat goat cheese pizza, of course. Oh, and we also
Oh,
had actual pizza from Domino's.
yeah, we did.
Yeah, just Domino's
And
and lot
some nice
cookies.
cookies.
Yeah, Vince's mom likes making us cookies, and we enjoy getting cookies from Vince's mom. So
Of course.
it's a great relationship that we have. um, but yeah, that was Sunday. Rest of the week, worked on music stuff, worked on application stuff, writing a resume that's not based on music things, a little more versatile type things. Yeah, but have a couple songs that I'm gonna be sending to you guys fairly shortly.
Oh,
Um, yeah, they're sounding pretty good, I think. So I think I'm gonna send them out for testing.
oh yeah.
Um, I also set up. I mentioned I got some speakers for Christmas. That was one of my big gifts that I had, and I finally set those up this week too. And they sound really nice. And I was testing my songs through them too, because all my songs get mixed through headphones, which has its advantages, but also whenever I play it in like a car or like play it on a speaker, I'm like, damn, this sounds like ass. It's a big thing to accommodate for. So now I have some speakers and can mix things maybe a little bit better. But yeah, that's a cool thing too.
Very cool.
Yes. Other than that, though, I mean that's kind of basically it. I don't think I did anything too significant.
Did
Um,
you continue your album of the year, popular album?
yes, I did. Thank you. But I don't know how I forget that every single week. Thank you so much. It's so bad. Um, yes, I did. And the most popular album of last week was Balloonerism by Mac Miller, which
Ah,
I was planning to get around to by last episode, but was deaf and stuff. Oh, I'm not deaf anymore either. That's I don't think I was by the last podcast either, but you but yes, listen to Balloonerism by Mac, and I like it quite a bit. I don't entirely know if I agree with the decision to make it the final album. Like, I almost wish it was labeled as like a mixtape or something, just because Circles is just such a perfect bow on top of everything. And I don't think Balloonerism honestly even had a chance of standing up to it. But I still think it's a great album. It has some really cool like abstract production to it all throughout. That's I've really been appreciating on future listens. I was listening to it on the night, this week, and it really kind of hit in that sense too. It's very, even though it's a bit abstract, it's also it's relaxing and comforting in some ways too. It's very vibey in ways. And yeah, I think it's a good record. It's probably, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'd say of the full projects I've listened to from Mac, it's probably my least favorite, but I still enjoy it quite a bit. And it has a lot of cool qualities to it that I like. And I've
yeah.
also heard, like, I've heard Faces Swimming and Circles, so like those are the top Mac projects. So I
Yeah.
don't mean anything by saying it's my least favorite one that I've heard. But yes, listen to that, enjoy that quite a bit. And then last night I listened to an album as well. I mentioned her when Hive Mind did their top songs or whatever, and that there was a song I really liked and an album I was looking forward to by an artist called Lou Adrian Cassidy.
Oh yeah.
She's French. Well, she speaks French and she's from like French Canada, I believe. But the album is, oh god, I should have looked this up. The album is called Journal d'un Loup Garou. I don't know. It's all in French. I think I saw the translation as a Diary of a Werewolf or something like that, which I don't
Diary
entirely.
of a Wimpy Kid.
What'd you say? Diary of a Wimpy Kid?
Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Yeah. Um, but I've only gotten one listen into the album besides the singles that have come out, and I think it's a very good album. It's one that I think you should check out. Honestly, I do like it quite a bit. And yeah, it's I don't think I've ever listened to a full album in French before, but she, you know, the music surpasses language barriers. It's just very, very fun and catchy pop music that I enjoyed quite a bit. I'm looking forward to listening to more. But
Cool.
yeah, okay, now that's my week.
Well, and some music news. I only have one thing written down. But Joe, um, kept on doing their slow tease for the
Mm.
record. I really, really thought that it was going to come out last night
Oh,
because,
like a whole record?
yeah, just
Mm.
because like the only thing he released, like other than like the album track list, was like the name of the song that released basic being basic.
Mm-hmm.
With January 24th, and then it was just a bunch of track lists. So I was like, "Oh, cool! I'll have a new album to listen to tonight." And then I was on Twitter, and it was like, "New Joe album coming out April 4th," and I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
okay," because I don't have to stay up then. Um, but I was like, that's cool. The Crux, Joe's third studio album, coming out April 4th. Excited for that.
Mm-hmm.
12 tracks. He's going on tour too, but not coming to Chicago, unfortunately.
Yeah. Even after his
Uh,
big song is about being back in
yeah,
Chicago when he feels it, oh, man,
that's crazy.
that really is crazy.
No, the closest he's coming is Madison, Wisconsin, which I'm still tempted to do, to be honest, because I would
Yeah.
love to see Joe live. Um,
Madison's a nice city too, but yeah.
Never been, but
Yeah.
I would go for Joe.
Go for Joe.
Go for Joe.
When it comes to Wisconsin, Madison is much more progressive than what you've been exposed to, at least from what you've told me. So,
Well, that's good.
yeah.
I mean, I don't have much experience with a lot of Wisconsin.
Yeah.
The place I've been most is Kenosha,
Yeah.
which is basically on the border. But when I was going on camping trips with my ex, the areas we were in were very conservative and
Yeah. I remember you
a bit
talking about
flaggy.
that. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, but that's good. It's at I don't know. I think it's called the Sylvie or something in
Mm.
Madison, and I looked up like how big it is, and it's like a pretty small venue. So hoping tickets aren't crazy expensive because I would go see Joe.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, the Crux by Joe coming out April 4th. Excited for that.
What'd you think? I haven't listened to the single, but what'd you
Oh yeah,
think of it?
I liked it. It's honestly a lot more different from Decide than I was expecting it to be. Like
Mm.
it's still got similar vibes, but it's not like as synthy or spacey
Mm.
feeling that as Decide is, and it's definitely not as like artsy as the first record. But it's good. I liked it. It's he's got a cool vocal effect going. Um, I only listened to it once, but
Mm.
it was good from what I remember. I liked it. I'm excited to see how the rest of the album pans out because it was a lot more different from Decide than I was expecting it to be.
Cool. Yeah,
But
I'll listen to that probably today, but I didn't get around to it. Yeah.
yeah, um, but yeah, that's all I got for music. Do you have anything?
Other than Black Country New Road, still
Yeah.
continuing to tease, but now we have a single that's coming out the 30th, so we'll be able to talk about it next week. It's called Besties. I don't believe, I'm gonna double check. I don't believe they've announced album quite yet, like
No, I think it's just
release date.
or just the song.
Yeah, yeah. Usually, album of the year has that picked up, especially for Black Country New Road. They'll definitely
Yeah,
have people on album of the year watching like hawks for that.
yeah,
But yeah. But new single though next week. Very much looking forward to that.
me too.
Um, yes.
Yeah, that'll be very cool. I signed up for the mailing list, but I don't think I've gotten an email.
I don't think I have either.
So I've just been seeing like updates on Twitter and I've seen their TikToks and stuff. So it's
Yeah.
just like, That's cool. I like the artwork on the single. It's
Yes.
very interesting. But I'm excited to see how a post Isaac studio album will be.
Yes.
Um,
Oh, I also lied when we were doing our anticipated albums of the year. I could have sworn in one of the videos that they teased, it sounded like they were working with that producer from Ants from Up There, but I think it was someone else. But because there was people talking like, yeah, they're working with this producer who's worked with. Oh, I'm forgetting who they were saying, but one of them was like the Last Dinner Party, which was an album I loved
oh,
last year. But yeah, but I don't think it's the same guy who did Ants from Up There, unfortunately. But yeah,
that's all right.
yes,
Um, but that's cool. I guess another thing, Shinedown, uh, which I haven't talked about in a while because I've
yeah,
kind of fallen off of that wagon a bit. But they got an album coming out, and they're going on tour, and they released a single this week too. I think called "Dance Kid Dance" or something like that. And I heard a snippet, and I was like, oh. Because Planet Zero, their last record disappointed me, and I have not listened to it all the way through more than one time.
hmm
Um, so and from the snippet I heard, it just sounds like they were going in a more poppy direction.
oh, that's always the best
Which,
move for a band like that. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. When their best stuff has been like the harder rock kind of, like they've been good at like slow ballads that about mental health and things like those, like
mm,
things like that. Those have been good from them as well. But their best stuff is like the harder rock, kind of more intense stuff, and the more poppy they've gotten, the less good it's been. So it's just
yeah,
it's a little disappointing. But for a band like that, I'm not super surprised that that's what's happening.
yeah. I still like that "I'm a Realist" song that you sent me a long time ago.
Yeah,
every,
Amaryllis is really great.
every now and then they'll come on. I'm like, damn, this is a good song.
Yeah. Uh, that's their best album. But it's
Mm,
just the last album not great, and this one, just from the snippet I heard, not super excited for either. I don't even know if I'll check it out, but
yeah.
we'll see. Um, but yeah, that's all I got. Music wise,
Same
um,
here, except for I guess no. Yeah, no. That's all I got.
in other entertainment, the Oscar nominees came out this week. Uh, no mentions for challengers, which was kind of crazy to me considering how big that movie was, and the fact that Trent Reznor did the score and it was like really, really, really good. Well,
Yeah.
Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, I think, um,
Yes.
and that's a really good soundtrack to a really great movie, and that in a movie that got 0 nominations, which was crazy. Um, a movie called Amelia Perez got 13, which I've heard of only a name, um, but it's from clips I've seen. It's a musical, and the songs that I've seen from it are really fucking bad.
I wasn't expecting that. I thought you were gonna say really fucking good.
No, no,
Okay.
like it's been quite controversial with the amount of nominations and awards it's been getting because people hate it a lot. And from the stuff that I've seen, justified. Um, just like it sounds like they had no idea how to write how to keep in beat and how to make a beat um, compelling or like make sense in the
Uh-huh.
course of the song. Just like the emphasis is on all the wrong syllables,
Oh, okay.
which is really weird. Um, for a movie that's gotten so many nominations and awards. But Zoe Saldana or Saldana, however you say it, there's a little Enye over the
Mm.
N in her name
Yes.
that I didn't know that was there. Um, but she got a Golden Globe for Best Actress. And people think that she'll get it for that movie, for the Oscar for that too.
Mm.
Um, which people are okay with that just because Zoe Saldana is very good in all the things that she's been in. But
Mm.
you know, but Nosferatu got a couple of nominations. Dune Part Two got a few. I think, but there were good amount of snubs. this year, as there are every year. But what's cool is a horror movie got nominated for Best Picture, which is like
Is that
never the case.
Nosferatu?
And now it's a movie called The Substance.
Oh yeah, yeah, I know that. Yeah.
Yeah, which I haven't seen, but I've heard a lot of really good things about. Um, but that's cool and big for the Oscars because horror never gets any sort of love or attention when it comes
Hmm.
to awards or award season. So that's cool. Um, but yeah, uh, Oscar noms, some good, some bad. Kind of usually how that goes.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm pulling for Dune 2 and Nosferatu to get some
Hmm.
because a lot of this is like set design and like costumes and things, and it's like yeah, I think those both deserve something for those
For sure.
categories because those are beautiful looking movies. Um, but yeah, that's cool.
Hmm.
Um, the TikTok ban happened. It
Yeah.
came and went. Uh,
TikTok
you know,
died and was resurrected by well, I don't want to say who, but you know.
yeah, a Saturday night, it was like 8 p.m. or something. It went offline in the U.S. and it was like, oh man, that's upsetting. But I figured the 90-day extension would be signed or put into effect on Monday, and it'd be whatever. So I kept it on my phone, and I only tried to open it a couple times um, prior to it coming back online. But it came back online in a lot shorter amount of time than anyone was expecting.
Hmm.
Because went offline at like 8 on Saturday, and then like I don't know 1 no like 12 p.m. the next day on Sunday. It People were going, oh, TikTok works again. Oh, it's fine. It's cool. It's working. Mine took a little while to come back online, but I was able to scroll through at like 2 or so. Um,
Hmm.
but the only something that gave me the ick when it came back online was the message. It was like, thanks to the efforts of President, Dump, we have, we're able to keep coming to you in America. Um, that,
Woo.
yay. Which gave me the ick a little bit, and I'm still kind of over it a little. That doesn't stop me from scrolling through it, but that's just muscle memory and uh, habits at this
An
point.
addiction. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, um, but a lot of my For You page is it's still good and telling me the news and things about what's happening in the world and in America. So I haven't gotten any like weird um, For You page incidents where it's like, oh, this information is might be false, or stuff blocked from um, my viewing or anything. So that's good. But don't know how long it'll be until either 50% of TikTok gets sold to the US, or ByteDance just says fuck it, buy America.
Hmm.
But it's more looking like it'll be 50% of it going to somebody in the US, because that's just what people have been saying uh, in positions of power. Which, like, if it sells to somebody like Zuckerberg or Musk, then I'm definitely deleting it. Um, but if ByteDance decides to just say fuck it, I'll respect them more for that. But
Yeah.
part of me doesn't believe that that'll happen. So, um,
Fair.
uh, but that was interesting. Uh, but yeah, we'll see what happens with that.
We will see.
But the big thing this week, aren't you excited? It's
Uh,
the 2025 inauguration of Donald J. Trump into office once again, 4 years after. Uh,
I just played a fart
after
sound. I don't know if you heard it, but
I didn't, but
uh,
thank you.
yeah, no problem.
Uh, 4 years after he left office, he comes back once again. and people in the front row at the inauguration was filled with billionaires,
Hmm.
uh, which is great look.
Yeah,
Great look for
there
America.
there's nothing quite like a president getting elected with the three richest men in the world right behind him. But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, super cool.
awesome. Yeah.
Um, but that's happening a couple days before that. He was on stage and admitted to Musk stealing the election, or like at least hinted at it, because he said, well, he was down in Philadelphia and he's so good with those computers, those vote counting computers, and we won Philadelphia in a landslide,
Mm,
um, because of it. And that's cool.
awesome.
Um, but that happened, and he got into office and immediately started signing some exciting and kooky executive orders.
Hmm.
Um, one of which being the pardons of all of 1,500 January Sixers, who were either in trial, in prison, or both.
Hmm.
Um, which super cool.
Yeah.
Uh, Republicans love to say that they back the blue, and that Donald Trump backs the blue, but obviously he does not, because the people that assaulted and injured police officers in the Capitol, they got off scot free, and the police that were there are still traumatized and everything from it. Um, he also he also signed an executive order to make it so America only sees your gender based on conception, based on what you are at conception, which means that we are all female.
Woo. This is a
Uh,
huge day for trans female, but terrible
yeah.
day for trans men. Is what I would say.
Just a way of negating the identities of millions of people in America. Super cool.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I mean, a lot of this stuff really depresses me. I'm not saying we should stop talking about it. But like I haven't looked into a lot of these things, like exactly what's going on. But I did see clips of stuff, and one of them was the clip of, Trump at his inauguration speech being like, "I will sign an executive order that there are only two genders or whatever," and that got like a standing ovation and that was not a comforting feeling I got from that. Was very uh, deep pit of despair type thing when seeing a
Yeah,
standing ovation were they at the White House? I don't even know where they were. I'm assuming.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
The Capitol, the White House, whatever.
yeah, yeah. Seeing that get a standing ovation was like genuinely really distressing to me. I did not
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
I was off on Monday, and I kind of wish I was working, so I wasn't looking at my phone the whole time.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I saw most of it, and it was just he signed a shit ton more. He also talked about renaming the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America,
Yeah.
and Mount Denali in Alaska to something, or Mount McKinley or something or other. I don't know.
The really
Uh,
important issues. Yeah.
yes, he did not sign one executive order to lower grocery prices or anything like that.
What? But he
Um,
said
yeah. Um, he also didn't. He also didn't end the war in Ukraine on day one either, which he promised as well.
Yep.
But he signed executive orders to uh, renounce the birthright citizenship,
Mm-hmm.
uh, which is an amendment, and he has no power to do that. Um, so
For
he
now.
needs to rescind an amendment. He needs all of Congress and 38 of the 50 states in America to agree to that, and he doesn't have that, and will never have that. So I don't know what he was thinking with that. He also signed a executive order to rescind the Equal Rights and Opportunities Act of 1965,
Oh, fun.
which is the act that stops people stops workplaces and employers from discriminating someone based off of their beliefs and looks, race, etc.
Hmm.
Um, which also, is a law that he can't rescind. Uh, so, I think from what I saw, it was more like on a federal level or something like that. But he that's a whole law that he can't rescind through an executive order. Um, he also ordered the files on the assassinations of JFK, RFK, and MLK to
What?
be put out.
Uh,
um,
wait, what do you mean by that?
like the assassination, like classified files on the assassinations of JFK, RFK, and Martin Luther
Oh,
King to be put out. Um,
I don't entirely
which
know how to feel about that. Like,
yeah,
I don't know if that's entirely a negative thing, to be honest.
right, yeah. I don't know if any of that stuff would even give us anything. Because I feel like
Right.
if they're gonna write it down, it's gonna be like the CIA didn't do that.
Yeah.
We didn't do that.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
so it's like
In the
uh,
classified files, we did this.
right.
Yeah.
Um, uh, he also um, he also started mass deportation raids in different cities. He started in Chicago, and like there were a bunch of other cities that he had people like ICE go into. Uh, I haven't heard the numbers. I don't think it's like too crazy at the moment, but he is like He's like giving. I think he's planning to put uh, people he's planning to deport into prison systems and private prisons until they're deported. Um, and so the stock for like prisons and private prisons has gone crazy uh, in the last couple days, which is super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, just super humane. Um, he's literally creating concentration camps for Hispanic people and other migrants who came to the country fleeing from their situations in their home countries. Super awesome.
Yeah.
Um, he signed a lot of executive orders, and I don't have a list of them or anything. I'm just
Yeah.
naming what I can.
And
But
honestly, because I was seeing that he signed a whole bunch of stuff too, and it's like, it's one of those things that makes me even more pissed at uh, the Democratic Party of how much shit he was able to overturn and do in one single day, and I feel
yeah,
like none of there was not even close to this much progress with Biden at the helm.
yeah,
Or
no,
progress, obviously, relatively speaking, this is
yeah.
lack of progress, but
The thing is like Democrats don't they want to play by the books and do everything by the rules, and it's like I love that, but also when you have a con man like Donald Trump in office who's going to go back and rescind everything that Biden did in the last 4 years in the matter of a couple hours by signing his silly little name
yeah,
on some silly little leather books. Maybe next time we do the same thing. Maybe next time you go into the office and you rescind everything he did, sign executive orders, get those January Sixers back in prison. Don't
yeah.
let all of this just stand like we did the last time.
It's definitely a weird thing because it's like when you're playing against some like the rules are there for a reason, but like I don't entirely know if the answer to that is to just also become formless and whatever, because then that'll lead to even worse stuff in
Sure.
the future.
Yeah.
But like I don't. There needs to be a better solution than whatever they're doing right now.
Yeah. Uh, a couple of the things he did was Biden, when he was in office, he made it so there was an act to make it so um, prices of insulin were like $35 a month or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Trump rescinded that, and now they're back to where they were in like the hundreds of dollars a month for insulin.
Awesome.
Mm. And then also he withdrew us from the World Health Organization, um, which,
Mm-hmm.
what the fuck?
And
Why does he have the power to do
that,
that?
and also the Paris, whatever for
Yeah,
the
climate
climate
agreement,
change. Yeah, yeah. What?
which he did the last time too. But
That's still terrifying.
yeah, but the World Health Organization. What the fuck? We are one of the three countries that are not a part of the World Health Organization now. Um, I think it's Libya and another African country, I believe, that aren't a part of it. But when you got everybody, including like North Korea and like in China, who are a part of the World Health Organization, you see the map and like America is the only like first world country, quote unquote, um, that is like not highlighted in that World Health Organization diagram. That's embarrassing.
Yeah,
It is disgusting, and he's just mad about COVID still. I think, and he wants
because
he wants to blame the World Health Organization for all the stuff that happened during COVID when he is the one to blame. Um,
yeah.
and he also, Biden, before he left office, had to pardon Dr. Fauci um, and a bunch of other, like the investigators for January 6th, and I think Liz Cheney, and I think his family he also pardoned because
Yeah.
he knew that Trump was going to try and go after them in some way or form. Um, blaming Dr. Fauci, who was there to, try and save us from a fucking pandemic that was killing us and inform us about what to do, is insane.
Yes. Oh
Wanting
yeah.
to imprison him for that um, is fucking literally insane. And I'm glad that we get another 4 years of this. So excited
Hmm.
to see what happens. But one of the biggest things that happened on Monday was there was a whole event at Capital One Arena. I don't know where Capital One Arena is, but you know, Trump was just going to go to Capital One Arena, sit in the middle of the arena, and just sign executive orders the whole time.
Oh my.
Um, yeah, but he had, Elon was there, um, and he got on stage and he was just talking to the crowd, and all of a sudden he slams his chest and he puts his arm out and twice he does this.
Yep.
The universal salute for the Sieg Heil Nazi Hitler salute. Um, what?
Yeah.
And for in the days since, he's been getting defended by a lot of people saying, "Oh, well, he's autistic. He was just stimming, or he was just trying. He was putting his heart out to the crowd." Um, as well as a bunch of people putting out, especially this one account, Libs of TikTok, which is a
Mm. Yes.
crazy conservative Twitter account, who've been putting like still images of like liberal and Democratic politicians doing with what seems to be the same gesture, which is just their arm out, but not supplying the videos of those moments where it's just them waving or pointing. Um, but trying to defend Elon Musk, and Elon has done nothing to you know say, oh well, that wasn't my intention, or oops, that I was just overstimulated and I was just trying to put out my heart to the world. But no, he's just been kind of confirming that that's what he was doing, uh, and on purpose. Um,
What do you mean by
which
confirming? Just by staying silent?
just like not staying silent, but like posting things about like, oh, the liberals are so angry at me, and oh
Mm.
god. And then he also posted a meme of like, don't do the thing, and it's just like me, and it was like a picture of a dog, a reaction meme of like a dog touching the water with the toes on a beach or something, and it's like me and the thing. Um, and
Wow.
so. Yeah. So he also supports and um has like what's the word, endorsed the far right party in Germany, uh, who like basically are Nazis as well.
Right.
Um,
That makes
so
sense.
you know, just like not trying to you know trying to say I'm not a Nazi or anything like that. Just pretty much confirming it and saying that he's a Nazi. And we don't quite like Nazis in this country. At least the
Oh,
sane
we
people.
didn't.
The sane people don't. Um, which is, it's just like I don't get it, man. Like less than 100 years ago, our you know grandfathers, grandfathers, and uncles, people like that went out to Germany to fight the Nazis and to stop fascism and everything in the world, and now we are supporting uh, the same kind of people.
Yeah.
And it's like, did you people learn nothing from anything? Like, I know a lot of you are uneducated and don't understand and are brainwashed to the point where you don't care about anything but your own, but your daddy Trump, and you might want like another stimulus check or something. But we all grew up in households where the History Channel was playing pretty consistently, and a lot of the stuff on the History Channel was about World War II and how Nazis are bad. And now we're in a position where, you know, we have one of the most powerful people in the world, if not the most powerful person in the world, with the most money, hiling Hitler and people defending him for it. Um,
Yeah.
just very disappointing and scary. But
I yeah, I don't know. Honestly, if I'm saying what I honestly think of that whole situation, um I think that, and this could age incredibly poorly, and I hope it doesn't. Um, I really do think, if I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt, that what he was initially saying in that moment was, from the bottom of my heart, thank you, is what he was trying to say. But the reaction to all of that, and like not realizing what he did in the moment and doing it another time, is a problem in the first place. All the cheering and stuff that happened exactly after he did that is a worrying thing. And the way he's acting like an edgy teenager now afterwards is also a very worrying thing. I don't, this is me personally, I think I actually, I not to agree with libs of TikTok and shit like that, because that makes me want to die. But I don't think that he would be publicly endorsing Nazism at this moment in time, because that would not be a thing even cool with the Conservative Party, to be honest with you. Um, but it certainly is just like an immense showcase of the immaturity of this man and the people in power here, and just like, I don't know, it's a whole mess. I personally, I think it's a little bit of an overreach to straight up call him a Nazi because of that, but I also get why people are jumping to that conclusion.
yeah, and
It's,
like
I don't
if
know.
I hadn't, sorry, go ahead.
No, that's pretty much what I had to say.
If I hadn't seen the video and I just saw the picture, I would have said, "Oh, that's taken out of context or something." But the fact that I feel like he believes that there's nothing left to lose, and they won, so he can do whatever he wants now. And if he does believe in those things, and if he does, support Nazism and things like that, especially with the fact that he, endorses and supports the far right party of Germany
Yeah, I
and
don't know much
everything.
about that, but that sounds bad if that's true. But
Yeah. I would say, well, he's just stupid, and
Oh
he
yeah,
is just stupid. But I feel like that's a man who doesn't really give a fuck anymore because the person he wanted to put in power got put in power. So
yeah,
now he doesn't think he has anything to lose, and so now he just is going to go around doing whatever he wants, saying whatever he wants, doing whatever he sees fit. Um, and I don't want to I don't want to believe that the Trumpies love Hitler and are Nazis and everything, but with groups like the Proud Boys and other alt right terrorist organizations like them being full on like Nazi people,
yes,
um, it's like and those are a good big portion of the Trump supporters. It makes me upset that a lot of those people are getting to have their views put in the limelight and put on in the spotlight for the next 4 years, and especially with someone like Elon Musk who's going to just do it
yeah.
um,
I
for
I
fun.
yeah, I agree with all of that for sure.
Yeah,
I I
it's
I, I guess my main thing is that I do think the Democrats and liberals in general are looking for any excuse to point at conservatives, be like Nazi, 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 Nazi. Like they're looking for those things. In some ways, it doesn't help that he straight up did that motion.
yeah,
um, but yeah, no, I agree with everything you're saying. He's an idiot, just plain and simple. And you know, catering to those people in general is just fucking stupid and awful.
yeah,
And I hate that that's the state of our country right now.
yeah.
Yeah,
Me too. But a little bit of a downer of an episode, but this week
yeah.
this week kind of it endorses that feeling for a lot of people.
This week's episode endorses Donald Trump. Sorry.
On this week's episode of
Yeah.
Broken Boys, we
Well,
endorse President Donald J. Trump.
brought to
Um,
you thanks to the TikTok on
brought to you, brought to you by C-SPAN and Fox News.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm. Yeah.
just it's terrible. And
It's awful. Yeah.
if you see a Nazi, punch him,
Yes.
uh,
I can get down
because
with that.
fuck them.
Well,
Been a lot of
I
my
mean, if you want to go that far, I mean, I guess that's up to you. But
fuck them up. Let's move
okay.
on. um, but yeah, a lot of my TikTok this week has just been about preparing yourself, being prepared, being safe in times of like protests and things like that,
Yeah.
and some tutorials on how to punch and elbow and kick correctly when it comes to Nazis. And so, if you need help, just I've reposted a lot of those, so
There you go.
you can go see my reposts on TikTok and follow the tutorials if you see a Nazi anywhere near you.
Yeah.
But yeah, just sorry about the um, topics in this episode being a little down and concerning and everything
It's
like
it's
that.
it's the reality. It's what's got to be. I mean, I've never done it yet, but I do imagine at some point in the future I will just like click on random episodes of Broken Boys just to see what's going on, and like something like this would be an interesting topic. Just like,
It would
oh,
be.
I didn't think he was a Nazi then. Huh? I was so naive, you know. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, fun
Um,
things like that.
yeah. It's like going back and clicking on like the episode where we talk about the Russia's invasion into Ukraine and just like seeing all that, and it's like holy shit, that was a long time ago,
Yeah.
and it's shit's still going on. Um,
Yeah.
and just like I have gone back and I've clicked on old episodes and I'm like, what were we talking about? And it's like, oh, we were sad because of relationship stuff, and
The
oh, we were.
Broken Boys were broken.
But these episodes will definitely be interesting down in the future, um, to see how we were doing and like how what was going on in the
Yeah.
world. Even though I'm sure we'll remember it fairly pretty well, the big things at least. But like just going back and like seeing how we were feeling and everything is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, um, bit of a downer this week. Sorry, guys.
Hmm.
But go educate yourself. Go,
Yes.
protect the people that need protecting, and support the people that need supporting. Because in the next 4 years, and even the next 4 days, everyone's going to need help and support and love that need it. So go help them. Go support people. Go protest if you're feeling up to it. But stay safe out there. Um, but yeah, we'll get through it. We got through it the last time, and this time might be a little different, but we'll figure it out. It'll be okay.
Yeah. Agreed. I'm a downer, but yeah, I do agree. I'm hoping for it to get better.
Yeah. I mean, like there have been funny things in the last 4 days as well.
Yeah. Been a
One
lot
of
of
which being,
Sorry, I was just gonna say there's been a lot of funny memes about the Nazi salute as well. But
oh yeah,
anyways,
yeah,
but what were you gonna say?
uh, a lot of is one of them being like the whole everyone's technically a female now because of that executive
Yeah.
order. But there was also a with the rescindment of the Equal Rights and Opportunities Act, a Trump supporting family was about to move to where their wife was about to get a job, and because he rescinded that, she got the job offer revoked.
Mm.
Um, and so the husband was pleading on Twitter with with Trump to like make an exception or something like that for them. And it's like, man, this is what you fucking voted for.
You know,
So deal with it. Um, but things like that, you can laugh at them.
yeah.
Um,
And there
it's
definitely is some dark laughs that are going on, but also
oh for sure.
with a deep depression beneath them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a thing where it's like we we didn't get our way. We didn't. The hate won in this election, unfortunately. But um, just stay strong, stay alive,
Hmm.
um, try your best, and in the end, we'll find a way to get out of this. But for now, we just gotta support the people that need supporting, like I was saying.
Yeah.
But
Um. Oh, and one more thing. Panic at the Disco got added to Fortnite. Um.
yes, yes. Yeah, I mean they high hopes was in Fortnite.
Oh, that's true.
Um,
That's true.
but peak panic
Yeah,
got
I don't
added.
know if I would call it peak, but cool. It's a good song.
Yeah,
Much better song.
Pirates not tragedies got added,
Hmm.
which is cool.
Uncensored too.
Yeah, I was playing Rivals last night, and I was like, oh, what songs got added to Festival this week? And I was like, oh, so somebody that I used to know by Goat
Oh yeah, that's a good one too.
and I Write Sins and No Scrubs. I was like, damn, those are bangers. And
Yeah,
then I went on and played those, and it was good. I was very surprised to hear that was the uncensored version of I Write Sins.
yeah.
Um, considering the fact that like horror has been censored in like Misery Business and things like that,
Hmm.
while Nicki Minaj is allowed to say Jack Wolf.
Jack
Um,
off.
in
Yeah,
another song. It's like, why was that censored if Brendan Urie was allowed to call Bridesmaid a whore
yeah.
and
Well,
you know
I think a lot of times what happens is they do the official censors of the songs. For like something like Misery Business. I know like Haley, I mean, you've talked about this a lot of times, but like Haley just doesn't even like that word in there. So that might have even been a request by Paramore themselves, just like, hey, yeah, you can use the song, use the censored version. Um, but
that's true.
yeah, when it comes to like I Write Sins though, like none of that is profanity that goes past the T rating or anything though. So like
That's true.
even though it's surprising to hear like horror said so blatantly with all the music cutting out in Fortnite, and also goddamn over and over again too.
Yeah.
Um, I really was expecting possibly to closing a damn door, the that
Yeah.
censor where they censor God. Yeah, I guess they also did the same thing with "This Ain't a Scene" by Fall Out Boy a few weeks ago.
I guess
They had that uncensored too. So, but yeah, no, it's
Fortnite's getting spoiled now.
yeah. No, they're getting less woke actually. But yeah, it was just
But yeah.
something I thought of like a second ago.
A good segue. Good segue.
Absolutely, yeah.
Um, also, the final episode of Chuckle Sandwich came out
Oh
today.
yes, yes.
As we're recording, I saw that it came out last night. I was like, "Oh, that's an early release," and then I saw that it was 4 hours long. I was like, "Holy
Yeah,
shit!"
they started doing a live stream viewing of it. And it was
Really?
like, yeah, it was. What time did you see that it came out?
I saw that it was really. I think I was playing Rivals. It was like midnight or something, and
Oh
they
yeah, I think that's when they were
just got.
doing the live release of it. Yeah.
I got like the Spotify notification or something.
Oh, gotcha,
Oh,
gotcha. Yeah, they were doing a live release on YouTube, and like I was saw on Reddit earlier. Ted was like, "Yeah, it's like 4 hours long. We're having trouble exporting it and stuff." And what I saw it was they had like just started streaming it around like midnight or so. I was like, "Oh, damn, that's gonna be a long stream." Um,
yeah,
yeah, I'll probably be picking at that over the next few days, but I'm very excited for that because
yeah.
it's a chuckle dungeon. They do Dungeons and Dragons, and the last two of those were so funny. So I'm
Yeah,
looking forward to
I
it.
gotta go back and actually watch those because I remember when they released them, but I never actually finished them or watched them all the way through.
You
Um,
should, yeah. I mean, I don't. You consume much more Dungeons and Dragons content than I do, but they really play into what I've found the most fun in Dungeons and Dragons stuff, where like it's they don't really know what they're doing and they just come up with the most absurd ways to get out of situations.
oh yeah,
And Charlie, he's just a great dungeon master, so he's really great at writing around it and making it really funny, and it's awesome. I love it.
yeah. From what I did watch, I really like that whole aspect of it where they're just like, I don't know what I'm doing, so let's just make it silly.
Yeah,
And, I love that
like
about it.
there's hopefully it's not too big of a spoil. I don't think it is. I think it happens towards the beginning, but there's just a receptionist at one point that like Ted's just like, "Can I cut her head off?" And Charlie's like, uh, "You could." It's so funny.
You could try.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that shit.
Yeah.
Um, but rest in peace, Tuckle Sandwich.
Yes, yes.
You'll be missed, but never forgotten.
Hmm.
Uh, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's about all the
Uh,
stuff on my
that's
mind.
all I've got to pretty much. Well,
Sorry
you
about this, guys,
oh,
but
yep. Yeah, no, it's fine. Um, but you weren't apologizing to me. But yes, it's also fine. Audience will be okay, hopefully. And Colin, you're up for Song of the Week.
all right. Well, like I said, I didn't listen to anything this week, and I did enjoy the new Joe song, so I'm gonna go with that. I'm
Oh,
gonna go with "Basic Being Basic" by Joe.
all right.
So funny. That's just basic being basic.
All right, that was "Basic Being Basic" by Joe. What do you think, Mike?
I thought it was pretty good. I honestly wasn't entirely sure how I was feeling about it at first. But I think it was about the time that the second chorus came around. I was like, okay, you know what? This kind of is. It has a vibe to it. I think it's one of those songs I might have to listen to a couple times. But
Yeah,
I enjoyed what was going on and what it kind of built to towards the end as well. I
yeah,
think it's an interesting route. But not necessarily one that I dislike. I have to get more into it, but I enjoyed it. Yeah.
yeah. I'm glad that he didn't feel like he had to rely too heavily on how on like the popularity of End of Beginning or other stuff off of Decide. Um, because I like seeing artists kind of divulge what they do across different records.
Mhm.
Um, and I think this is a cool little area. I'm interested to see more from him. I don't know, what other singles we'll get, but we got a couple months before the release of that. So, um, I'm excited to see what the crux is and becomes. But I like that track. It was fun.
Cool. All right.
What you get?
Well, like I said, I listened to that Lou Adrian Cassidy album last night, and that single, I've been loving that all this year so far. So I'm gonna go with that. I might put text on the screen just because it's in French and I don't know how to speak French. But, the song is called Cour Cora Cour by Lou Adrian Cassidy.
Je ne veux plus m'en aller.
All right, that was Cour Cora Cour by Lou Adrian Cassidy. What'd you think of that, Colin?
Well, I didn't understand a word she was saying, but that was the upbeat kind of nature that I feel like I needed a little bit.
Yeah,
Um, just a very fun and upbeat pop song with a really cool little explosion there at like 2.5, 3 minutes or
yeah,
something. It was very cool, unexpected. Very she got a great voice too, and
yeah,
the piano throughout I liked it a lot too. But yeah, I might have to check that album out because that was a nice feel, nice
yeah.
feel.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's pretty close to like a perfect pop song for me. Like I really enjoy just all the sections of it. Like you were saying, the piano and the vocals all throughout are nice. That switch up with where it goes a little rock there for a second too is
Uh-huh.
just it's so it like it just builds up to it so nice and it comes off of it so nice and the melody of the chorus is so nice. Like I've low key been addicted to this song since the year started.
Yeah.
So again, shout out Hive Mind Graydon for this one. I think this is what he had at his song of the year.
Uh,
It was in his songs of the year. I don't remember if it was number one or not, but yeah, no, I've been really loving this song and needed to highlight it at some point before artist analysis and Black Country New Road singles and all these things. So
yeah.
I will highlight a Max song in the future.
Yeah.
But yeah, cool. I'm glad you enjoyed that as well.
Yeah.
Um,
Very cool.
yeah,
But speaking of artist analysis, though, we do have a wheel to spin this
we sure
week.
do.
I did omit a couple longer ones just because I don't know what my week's gonna look like.
Completely
But
fair.
we're gonna spin that wheel. If you want to, just if you want to tell the artist analysis is.
Yes, artist analysis is the series we do every 5 episodes where we analyze an artist. We look at all of their we look at all of their studio album releases. We give them a listen, and yeah, we give thoughts and ratings all within one episode. So
Yeah. And I don't know why Muse is so big compared to all the other ones, but
they're really
uh,
pulling for it this time. They edged them
yeah,
last time.
they're like, we are fucking fucked. Let's go.
Yeah. Hey, that would be an appropriate way to end off an artist
It would
analysis.
be. It would be.
Uh,
Oh, oh,
are we
oh,
going to? Oh
oh.
my gosh,
Look,
there we
look.
go. Um, you sure
That's
you are?
hilarious.
You said you omitted some of the longer ones.
Is Muse long?
A little bit. They're 9 albums.
9 albums. Oh. How long are they?
Let's see. 50 minutes. 50 minutes. 50 minutes. I'm noticing a trend. 45.
Okay.
54.
Uh, well, I'm gonna do something unprecedented in the artist analysis wheel spinning
I think we've done
um,
it once before, so
tradition. Um, a little unprecedented, other than that one time. But we're gonna do a little respin after removing them. So
yeah,
don't be excited.
that's
Uh,
okay. That's okay. Poor
uh,
Muse, man.
all you Muse heads, sorry about that.
Yeah.
But let's see.
I honestly forgot they even had 9. I
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, okay, that's a short one.
yeah. That's a short one.
All right. Bruno Mars.
No.
So Bruno Mars would be, I believe, 3 albums. If we wanted to, we could throw Silk Sonic in there. Um, but
Yeah, we didn't do it for Anderson,
we didn't.
um, but honestly, we've done Anderson now, so I don't know. I feel like that's an okay thing to do.
Yeah.
We did Anderson a couple weeks ago, or a couple episodes ago, so we can
Yeah.
get them both in here.
Yeah, cool. Yeah,
Fine.
so we got Doo-Wops and Hooligans, Unorthodox Jukebox, 24 Karat Magic, and then An Evening with Silk Sonic. I believe those are all on the shorter side, too, I
Yeah,
would imagine. But cool. All right.
Cool.
All
No,
right. What were you saying?
Mars.
Nope.
Bruno Mars.
Bruno Mars. Okay, well, uh, you'll have to tune in next week for that artist analysis. But before you go, before you go, I don't know where that came from. Audio listeners, we love you to death. We're the only podcast on the air who will remind you of that whenever we can. And if you're on audio streaming services, we thank you very much. Thanks for representing the Spotify slash whatever you listen to podcasts on. But you can come on over to our YouTube channel where we're under the same name, Broken Boys, capital N Bois, where you can find our lovely wheel spin that we just did, along with our lovely profile pictures. I keep forgetting to ask you too. What's your profile picture this week? I see a gun or something.
Yes. Well, this is GI Robot from the Creature Commandos animated show, which is the first thing for James Gunn's DCU,
Mm.
and GI Robot is a Nazi killing robot. So
Oh, nice layers. Um, well, if you want to come see that in action, come over to YouTube. We're over here. But also we got links to stuff that we just did. That oh man, with that segment we just did. Art song of the week. You can come on. We got. Oh my gosh, my words. We have links to that in our description as well over on YouTube. Capital N Bois, where you can listen to Kur Kora Kur. You can maybe find it in the first place for Lou Adrian Cassidy, as well as the Joe song, which is called
basic being basic.
Thank you, Colin. Basic being basic. You can come and check both of those out. We got 3 playlists down there. We got one for me, we got one for Colin, and one for both of us combined. And then we also have links to some personal stuff as well. For me, like I said, I am making music under the name Plaintive. Only got one more like full song that I need to muster up and do. So just stay tuned. Yes, but you can catch up on your Plaintive lore with the Spotify, Apple Music links, and links to everything down there. Whatever you can fathom listening to music on, I got a link for it. I also have my Instagram down there, as well as my TikTok page, rip kind of, and my YouTube page and my album of the year page where I rate and review music. I've got more in-depth details on like the Lou Adrian Cassidy and the Mac Miller up on there. And when it comes to my proximity to you, dear viewer, I am I don't know. I'm so sorry. My brain. So I am depressed in my basement at the current political state of our country.
Fair.
Mm-hmm. Hypothetically. That's my proximity to you, dear viewer. And Colin over here, he runs our socials. He has our TikTok page, or well, it's still there now. Our TikTok page where he posts funny clips of us, as well as our Twitter page where he updates when videos are posted. He also runs our new Instagram account, which Instagram Reels, where he also posts funny clips of us being funny. So go check those out. And Colin, also, he has personal stuff too.
Me too.
He's a personable person, and he's got he's got his album of the year down there as well, where he rates and reviews movies. Oh my god, I've done that before too, where he rates and reviews music albums. Go check that out. And he also has a letterbox where he rates and reviews movies.
Yes.
go check out all those thoughts. You didn't mention anything, but did you watch anything this week?
No new movies this week,
Okay.
but I'll get back to it at
You
some point.
got to catch up on your Colin Letterboxd reviews lore, and that's all he has down there.
Yep.
And Colin, what is your proximity to our dear viewer?
Well, in your time of need and depression in your basement, I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to walk on to your onto your apartment. Just make my way there, and on my way there, there will be a dear viewer who sees me walking in front of
Mm.
me, and I'm gonna be like, and they'll be like, "Oh, you're so excited!" They're gonna be, "Oh, so excited to see half of the Broken Boys." And they're like, "Where's Mike?" And I'm gonna be like, "Well, dear viewer, he is quite down in the dumps at the current state of the country right now. So I'm making my way there right now, and I'm sure he would love to have a dear listener and viewer of the podcast there to cheer him up as well as me. So why don't you come with me? And when we get to your house, knock on the door. Your Riley will let us in, and
Mm. He's good at
we'll make our
opening
way.
doors. Yeah.
Yes, and we'll make our way down to the basement where you'll be curled up on the couch, listening to music through your nice speakers and
Mm-hmm.
um, all Radiohead, of course, all the time.
All the time.
Um, and
I don't actually listen to any other music. That's all a facade for this podcast.
yeah, yeah, he has memorized every Radiohead song from
Mm-hmm.
front to back of their entire discography, including the B sides now. So, he's got a lot of music to listen to, and it's all Radiohead. And when we get down there, um, we're gonna be like, "Hey, Mike, um, I'm my heart goes out to you," and we're going to uh, embrace you with the viewer in the middle because they know how this goes. They know how this embrace goes. They're gonna make their way to the middle, facing me with you in behind, and we're going to all engage in a nice group hug to fight away this sadness and depression. And I'm gonna look at you and wipe your tears away as we're listening to um, uh, what's the Tinker Tailor's Soldier Sailor,
Oh yes,
Richard
Tinker Tailor,
Foreman.
Soldier Sailor, Rich Man, Poor Man, Beggar Man, Thief.
Yes, and as that's playing in the background, I'm gonna look you in the eyes and say, "It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay." And I'm gonna kiss you on the forehead and on the cheek, um, just to just endearing and comforting little kisses for you this week
Mm-hmm.
as we engage in this embrace. And this embrace is something that we like to call the love cage. So, if you would like your very own love cage, which I know you do,
Mm-hmm.
dear viewer, all you must do is drop your address in the comments below and we'll find you. You won't know when, you won't know where, but we will find you and you will get your very own love cage. So go on and drop that Addy and we'll get to you at some point.
Mm-hmm. Wow,
Um,
beautiful. I feel better
yeah,
already.
so glad. So
Mm-hmm.
glad. Uh, Thank
Alrighty.
you for listening. And we will talk about Bruno Mars's discography next week. So come in and tune into that. Hopefully, more energetic and happy episode. But
One can
we
hope.
will, one can hope, and we'll talk at you next week. So
Bye bye.
bye bye.